5 years had passed since she left me. She walked out of our small, two-bedroom house without a backward glance, chasing a life of glittering champagne brunches and first-class upgrades. Her final words still rang in my ears. Asterisk, you were always too small for me. Asterisk. I didn't argue. I didn't beg her to stay. I let her go. The pain lingered for a while, of course. Like a draft you can't quite locate, always there, always chilling. But eventually, the silence grew comfortable, the ache dulled. I got back to work, back to building, not just furniture, but a new life. I started a small carpentry business from nothing, built it with my own hands. Honest work, peaceful days, good people around me. No flash, no filters, just a life that felt asterisk real star. Then, out of nowhere, a wedding invitation arrived. Cream envelope. Gold embossed. Expensive. Her name was on it, Elena. And just like that, the past scratched at the door again. Curiosity won. I decided to go. The venue was perched high above the city, smug and sparkling in the summer sun. Mansions below us looked like dollhouses. I arrived in jeans and boots, with the scent of fresh sawdust still clinging to my shirt. Heads turned. Suits and silk swirled around me. Eyes narrowed. I didn't belong, and that was fine. I wasn't there for approval. Then I saw her. Elena stood on a grand balcony, surrounded by her entourage. She looked polished and perfect, but her smile held poison. She noticed me and strolled over, her friends close behind. Well, you actually showed, she said, eyes dancing with mockery. Didn't think you'd find parking in a place like this. Laughter followed, sharp and rehearsed. Still playing with wood? Living in that little shack of yours? One of her friends added. I smiled. Quiet life. Everything I have is mine. No debts. Their laughter faltered for a second. But then the real moment came. Her fiancé stepped onto the terrace, drink in hand, mid-conversation, until he saw me. He froze. His drink lowered. Color drained from his face. You, he whispered. The noise around us died. Even the band stopped playing. Elena turned toward him. Wait, you know each other. His eyes never left mine. More than you think. The atmosphere thickened. You could feel the confusion rolling through the crowd. Elena looked between us, confused and unnerved. How exactly do you know my ex-husband? Her fiancé, Nathan, set his glass down slowly. His hands were shaking. We worked together, he said. At an investment firm. Years ago. He hesitated, but I didn't. He was part of a group involved in insider trading and securities fraud, I said, voice calm. I reported them. He struck a deal to save himself. Disappeared before the scandal hit the press. Murmurs rippled through the guests. Some gasped. Others exchanged glances of recognition. Elena's face turned ghostly pale. You were part of that asterisk scandal, she whispered. I didn't know he was your ex, Nathan mumbled. That was before I met you. She stepped back, her expression crumbling. You told me you had no secrets. That your record was clean. I had to lie, he said. If I told the truth, you'd have left. She staggered as though the words hit physically. You left me, I said softly, because I didn't come with a luxury label. Because I didn't shine the way you wanted. Her eyes widened as she realized it, maybe for the first time. The man she'd chosen, the one she thought would upgrade her life, had built his world on deception. You knew, she whispered. You knew who he was when you came here. I gave a small shrug. Let's just say, I trust life to balance things out. The crowd stood silent. Eyes wide. Jaws slack. Elena's perfect day had just shattered, one truth at a time. And no one saw it coming. What once drew admiration and envy had begun to unravel in front of the very people she had worked so hard to impress. You said he was pathetic, one of her bridesmaids whispered, nodding toward me. Said he lived in some shack and would never recover from losing you. Then a deeper voice chimed in, an older man in a sharp suit, unfamiliar to me. Nathan, is this why you vanished from the firm? We heard the whispers, the SEC investigation, but no one ever confirmed who it was. Nathan didn't say a word. He didn't need to. His silence was confession enough. I turned to Elena, mascara streaking her cheeks, the confident shine in her eyes fading. I kept my voice quiet, but made sure it carried. You laughed at me, I said. Tore me down in front of everyone. Called my life small. Then I faced the crowd. Yes, it's simple. But it's real. I build things. With my hands. I don't steal with spreadsheets or lie with contracts. I don't wake up with guilt. And when people look me in the eye, they don't wonder what I'm hiding. A low hum passed through the crowd. Someone clapped before thinking better of it. But it was done. The mood had shifted. Elena was no longer the glowing bride. She was simply exposed. Nathan tried to salvage the moment, his voice unsteady. This doesn't change anything. We love each other. We'll explain. But she was already backing away from him, head shaking. I gave up everything for this, she said, her voice breaking. For you. For this perfect illusion. She turned to look at the people around her, the guests whispering, the bridesmaids who now stood apart, the cameras that had quietly stopped rolling. And you gave me ruin. Her gaze returned to me, eyes swollen but steady. Did you come just to destroy me? I met her stare. You did that yourself, I said. I just came so you'd have to watch it fall. Gasps gave way to murmurs. Then the murmurs turned into judgment. Elena stood alone at the center of it all. Once admired, now pitied. Her bridesmaids drifted away one by one, choosing distance over association. Nathan stood frozen, sweat visible, his expensive suit doing little to hide his panic. We can still fix this, he pleaded, grabbing for her hand. She pulled away sharply. No, I'm not going down with you. And then, as if on cue, the venue's event manager appeared, hesitant. Mrs. Elena, do you still want the ceremony to proceed? Silence. Heavy. Thick with realization. Elena looked around, at the half-empty chairs, at the caterers idling awkwardly, at the photographer already packing up. Then she looked at Nathan. And then at me. No words were needed. She slowly removed her veil, let it fall to the floor, and walked away down the aisle that was meant to begin her new life. Nathan called after her, but no one tried to stop her. And no one followed him either. The ceremony had ended, but the consequences were only beginning. I turned to leave as well. Calmly. Just as I had entered. Near the valet, one of Elena's aunts stopped me. Her eyes were kind. You've changed, she said softly. So has she, I replied. The difference is, I grew. She nodded, thoughtful. I hope one day she understands what she lost. I didn't answer. Some realizations come too late. And sometimes, truth is all the justice you need. Years passed. The wedding that wasn't tea became a legend among certain circles. They called it the Hilltop Collapse, a once glamorous bride, a disgraced groom, and an ex who showed up looking like no one special but walked away with all the dignity. I never had to tell my side of it. I didn't need to. The truth has a way of lasting, unpolished and solid, like well-cut wood. Nathan was removed from every board seat he'd once slipped into quietly. After what happened at the wedding, regulators reopened files. Deals crumbled. Assets were seized. The empire he tried to rebuild vanished like smoke. He eventually moved away, tried to start fresh. But shame travels well. And Google never forgets. Elena's fall was slower. She tried to return to her old social scene, but it didn't take long before invitations stopped coming. People weren't angry, they were just embarrassed to be connected to her. That's how it works when appearances matter more than truth. She even tried launching a podcast, something about self-recovery, but it disappeared after 2 episodes. Last I heard, she'd gone back to live with her parents for a while before settling in a small apartment on the outskirts of town. She found work in marketing. Ordinary. Modest. And for the first time, she lived the life she once used to laugh at. As for me, I stayed small by choice. My woodworking business grew slowly, steady and honest. I hired a few young guys, hardworking, no silver spoons in sight. We didn't just make furniture, we built homes. I taught them patience. And the quiet strength of a clean conscience. People like to say revenge is sweet. But I never sought revenge. I just kept living right. And that was enough. One afternoon, while installing a custom bookshelf in a client's study, I got a letter. Cream envelope. No return address. Inside, a single note. You were right about everything. I hope you found the piece I chased away. Signed, Elena. I folded it and placed it in a drawer. Did it move me? Yes. But not with anger, just a sense of closure. Some people chase reflections and glitter. I work with oak and steel, and I sleep soundly every night.